What if I told you that not every battle is worth fighting? That sometimes the loudest response you can give is no response at all. We live in a world where everyone wants your reaction, your anger, your outburst, your energy. They poke, they prod, they push, waiting for you to explode. And the second you do, you've already lost. Because now they own your focus. They own your peace. They own your power. Think back to the last time someone tried to get under your skin. Maybe they insulted you. Maybe they betrayed you. Maybe they went out of their way to test your patience. And what did you do? Did you defend yourself? Argue? Prove your point? How did it feel afterward? Draining? Exhausting, like you handed them a piece of yourself you can't get back. That's the trap. They win by pulling you into their chaos. But imagine this instead. You don't react. No explanations. No arguments. No dramatic exits. You just cut them off. Silently. No announcement. No warning. Just gone. Do you know what happens then? You take all your energy back. You take all your power back. They're left wondering, questioning, unsettled, while you move forward without even looking back. Because silence doesn't mean weakness. Silence means control. Walking away without a word doesn't mean you're scared. It means you've already won. The strongest people don't need to prove themselves to anyone. They don't need to clap back, scream, or defend. They know who they are and they protect their energy like gold. And that's what this is about. No more wasting your power on people who don't deserve it. No more explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. No more letting their noise pull you out of your peace. The next time someone tries to drag you into chaos, remember this, don't react, cut them silently. Silence is one of the most underestimated forms of power. When someone attacks you, mocks you, or tries to drag you into their storm, your instinct is to defend yourself, to strike back, to prove them wrong. That instinct feels good in the moment. It feels like justice, but it is also the trap. Because the second you react, you've given them what they wanted. Your time, your energy, your attention. Reaction is their victory. Silence is yours. Think about it. The people who provoke you thrive on one thing. Your emotional response. They want to see you flinch. They want to watch you unravel. They want to know that they have that kind of power over you. And when you explode or argue, you confirm it. You hand them control. But when you stay silent, when you hold back the reaction they expect, suddenly you're no longer the one being manipulated. You're the one in control. Silence is strategy. It disarms people because they can't measure you. They don't know if you're hurt, if you're angry, if you're unaffected. They don't know if you're planning your next move or if you've already dismissed them completely. That mystery rattles them more than any words ever could. Your silence forces them to sit with their own noise, their own insecurity, their own frustration, and in that silence you win. When you respond with anger, you play the game on their terms, but when you refuse to engage, you pull them into yours. It's not that you didn't hear what they said, it's that you decided it wasn't worth your energy. And nothing screams strength louder than selective silence. Because the truth is, not every opinion matters. Not every insult deserves an answer. Not every attack deserves your attention. Now, let me be clear. Silence is not cowardice. It's not running away. It's not avoiding conflict. It is a deliberate choice to rise above the noise. Anyone can lash out. Anyone can get dragged into drama. That takes zero discipline, but it takes strength to stand there, steady and unmoved, refusing to let them pull you in. That kind of restraint is power. That kind of restraint is dominance. Picture a fire. When you argue back, you're throwing fuel onto it. The flames rise, and suddenly the whole thing consumes you both. But when you stay silent, you give it nothing to feed on, and a fire without fuel burns itself out. People who thrive on chaos hate silence because it starves them. It leaves them with nothing to grab onto. They can shout, insult, accuse, but your silence makes their words echo back on themselves. It shows everyone around you who really holds control. This doesn't just apply to enemies, it applies to every area of life. In arguments with family, coworkers, or even strangers, sometimes silence is the smartest move you can make. Because words spoken in reaction are rarely the words you'd choose if you paused. How many times have you said something in anger that you regretted? How many times have you escalated a situation because you couldn't stay quiet? Silence removes that regret. It gives you space to think, space to act with intention instead of impulse. Silence is also respect for yourself. When you react to every little provocation, you cheapen your own value. You show that anyone can press your buttons, anyone can pull your strings, but when you choose silence, you send a different message. I don't give everyone access to my energy. I don't hand out my attention for free. I decide who gets a response from me, and you don't qualify. That message doesn't need to be spoken. It's felt, and it's powerful. History shows us this. Some of the strongest leaders, warriors, and thinkers weren't the loudest in the room. They were the ones who spoke less and observed more. They were the ones who let others reveal themselves while they kept their own power guarded. Silence is not emptiness. It's strategy. It's the pause that allows you to calculate. It's the shield that protects you from reckless reaction. Now, does that mean you should never speak up? Of course not. Silence doesn't mean you never use your voice. It means you choose when, you choose how. You choose the moment when your words will actually carry weight, instead of being wasted in noise. When you finally speak, after holding silence, people listen because they know you don't waste words. They know you don't react to just anything. Your voice becomes sharper, more powerful, more respected, because it is rare. The discipline of silence is hard. It goes against human nature. Your ego wants to fight back, to defend itself, to prove them wrong, but your ego will get you trapped in battles that were never worth fighting. Silence kills the ego. Silence says, I don't need to prove myself to you, and that is the ultimate strength. Knowing you don't need validation, you don't need approval, you don't need to win every argument. You only need to protect your energy and keep moving forward. So the next time someone tests you, remember this. They are fishing for your reaction. Don't give it to them. Let them throw their bait into the water and pull up nothing. Let them scream into the void. Let them wonder why they can't get to you anymore. Because when you master silence, you master yourself. And the person who masters themselves cannot be manipulated, cannot be controlled, cannot be broken. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is not weakness. Silence is control. Silence is focus. Silence is strength. And when you choose silence over reaction, you're not just protecting your peace. You're declaring that no one, no matter what they do, has the power to pull you out of it. That is power. That is dominance. That is how you win without saying a single word. There is a kind of strength that doesn't announce itself, doesn't post a warning, doesn't give the other person time to prepare. It's the kind of strength that simply removes access quietly, cleanly, without explanation. That's what cutting people without warning is about. It's not about revenge. It's not about proving anything. It's about protecting your peace and refusing to give someone who doesn't deserve it another second of your life. Most people think they owe explanations. They think they need to defend their choices, to tell others why they're walking away, to give them closure. But let me tell you, closure is a trap. It keeps you tied to people who've already shown you they don't value you. Why should you bleed yourself dry trying to explain to someone who was never listening in the first place? When someone crosses a line, betrays your trust, or shows you through their actions that they don't deserve your presence, the cleanest, strongest move you can make is to cut them out silently. Why silently? Because words give them something to grab onto. If you announce, I'm done with you, or you're out of my life, you've already given them the satisfaction of knowing they affected you. You've opened the door for them to argue, to manipulate, to twist the narrative. You've invited drama back in. But silence doesn't give them that chance. One day they just notice you're gone. The calls don't get answered. The messages sit unread. The invitations are ignored. You don't fight. You don't explain. You don't justify. You disappear. And in that disappearance is the loudest message of all. Cutting someone without warning is the ultimate act of self-respect. It says, I value my peace more than I value your presence. It says, I don't need to debate with you about how you treated me. You showed me everything I needed to know. It says you no longer have access to me and you don't get to argue your way back in. That's not cold. That's clarity. That's discipline. Here's the truth. People who cross you know exactly what they're doing. They know when they've disrespected you. They know when they've taken advantage of you. You don't need to hold a meeting and explain it to them. They felt the line when they stepped over it. And if they didn't care enough to respect that line when you were standing in front of them, they don't deserve a seat at the table now. Your silence and your absence speak for you. Think about how many times you've wasted energy explaining yourself to people who were never going to change. You write long messages, you have endless conversations, you pour out your feelings, hoping they'll finally get it, but they don't. And even if they do, it rarely changes anything. Meanwhile, you're drained, you're exhausted, you're still stuck in the cycle. That's the trap of explanation. It keeps you connected to people who don't deserve you. Cutting them silently breaks the cycle immediately. Now, people will tell you it's cruel to disappear without a word. They'll say it's unfair, but here's the truth. Disappearing is only cruel to those who thrived on your energy. The people who really valued you won't push you to that point. They won't force you to withdraw. And if someone did, they already broke the relationship long before you cut it off. You're just finishing what they started. Cutting someone without warning isn't about them, it's about you. It's about drawing a hard boundary and enforcing it without compromise. It's about reclaiming the time and energy you've been pouring into the wrong places. It's about sending a message to yourself. I don't need to beg for respect. I don't need to argue for my worth. I don't need to stay connected to people who bring me down. That message builds your confidence, your clarity, and your discipline. The power in this practice comes from how final it feels. When you tell someone, I'm done, they still think there's room to argue. They think they can negotiate, guilt trip, or convince you otherwise. But when you're just gone, there's nothing to negotiate. The silence is the period at the end of the sentence. And that finality rattles people more than any dramatic speech ever could. Let me paint it for you. Imagine someone who's been draining you, someone who mocks your dreams, who betrays your trust, who constantly tests your patience. You could fight. You could argue. You could spend hours trying to show them the damage they've done, or you could walk away quietly, decisively. And one day they look up and realize you're not there. They don't know why. They don't know when. They just know the access is gone. That unknown burns them more than any explanation ever would. And here's the beauty. You don't even need them to feel it. Cutting people without warning is not about making them suffer. It's about refusing to let them make you suffer any longer. It's about giving yourself permission to stop justifying your boundaries, to stop explaining your worth, to stop giving away pieces of yourself to people who can't handle them. It's freedom. It's control. It's peace. Understand this. You don't need to tell someone you're done with them. You just need to be done. Stop answering. Stop engaging. Stop showing up. Don't announce your departure. Execute it. Because at the end of the day, silence and absence are louder than any words. They say everything that needs to be said, and they say it with finality. When you master this, your life changes. You'll stop wasting energy on toxic relationships. You'll stop feeling drained by people who don't deserve you. You'll reclaim your focus, your time, your peace. And the people around you will begin to respect you differently because they'll know access to you is not guaranteed. Access to you can be revoked without notice. That is power. So the next time someone betrays you, disrespects you, or tries to drain you, remember this. Don't argue. Don't defend. Don't announce. Just cut them silently, cleanly, and move forward because your life is too valuable to waste explaining your worth to people who should have seen it from the start. Energy is the most valuable currency you will ever own. Not money, not possessions, not titles. Energy, because everything you do, everything you pursue, every relationship you keep alive requires energy. And unlike money, once it's spent, you can't earn it back in the same way. You can make more money, you can buy more things, but you can't rewind time and reclaim the energy you wasted on people and situations that never deserved it. That's why you need to treat your energy as the rarest form of wealth you possess. Think about it. Every time you react to someone's insult, you've just spent energy. Every time you argue with someone who will never see your side, you've spent energy. Every time you let a toxic person occupy your thoughts, your stress, your emotions, you've paid a high price. The problem is, most people don't track their energy the way they track their money. They give it out freely to anyone who asks, anyone who provokes, anyone who demands attention. And then they wonder why they're exhausted, burnt out, and empty. Your energy should be protected with the same discipline as your bank account. You wouldn't let a stranger reach into your wallet and take what they want, but you let strangers and even friends drain your energy every day. You argue online, you get caught in pointless debates, you replay conversations in your head for hours, you give away mental and emotional resources like they're unlimited, but they're not. Every ounce of energy you spend on them is energy stolen from your goals, your peace, your growth. When you understand that energy is currency, you begin to spend it differently. You stop reacting to every provocation. You stop investing in people who give you no return. You stop entertaining conversations that lead nowhere. Instead, you save your energy for the things that matter, for the work that moves you forward, for the relationships that build you up, for the discipline that strengthens you. That's how you build wealth in life, not just financially, but emotionally and mentally. Silence becomes your savings account. Every time you choose not to react, you're depositing energy back into yourself. Every time you walk away instead of arguing, you're preserving power. Every time you cut someone silently, you're protecting your balance sheet. And the more energy you save, the richer you become. Not in dollars, but in clarity, focus, and strength. Now, let's talk about return on investment. When you invest money, you want it to grow. You put it in places where it multiplies. Energy works the same way. If you pour energy into bitterness, anger, and arguments, the return is stress, exhaustion, and regret. But if you pour energy into discipline, growth, and purpose, the return is strength, success, and peace. The question is, where are you investing your energy? Who are you giving it to? What are you feeding with it? Because the truth is, you are feeding something every single day, either your progress or your distractions. Every reaction is an investment. Every word you speak in anger is a transaction. Every thought you dedicate to someone who doesn't deserve it is a withdrawal from your account. And when you look at it that way, you realize how much you've been spending recklessly. The people who provoke you don't care about your balance. They want you bankrupt. They want you tired, drained, distracted, because the more energy you waste on them, the less you have for yourself. The discipline of holding your energy is not easy. It requires restraint. It requires you to let people be wrong without correcting them. It requires you to let insults slide without defending yourself. It requires you to leave messages unanswered, arguments unfinished, doors closed. It feels uncomfortable at first because your ego screams, fight back, prove yourself. Don't let them win. But here's the truth. Every time you react, they win. Every time you hold your silence, you win, because you've just protected the most valuable asset you have. And here's something powerful. Energy compounds. Just like interest in a bank account, the more energy you save and invest in the right places, the more it grows. When you stop wasting it on people who don't matter, suddenly you have more energy for the gym, for your goals, for your craft, for your relationships. Your mind gets sharper, your body gets stronger. Your focus becomes laser-like. That's the wealth effect of protecting your energy. It multiplies across every area of your life. Ask yourself this: how much energy have you spent replaying old betrayals? How much energy have you wasted trying to change people who don't want to change? How much energy have you lost in arguments that led nowhere? Imagine if all that energy had been poured into building your dream, into sharpening your skills, into strengthening your body and mind. Where would you be right now? That thought alone should wake you up. Energy is not free. Every time you give it away, You pay with your health, your peace, your progress. That's why cutting people silently is such a powerful move. It stops the leak. It seals the drain. It protects the balance. Because some people are not investments, they are expenses. And the sooner you recognize that, the sooner you can stop going bankrupt emotionally and mentally. So from this moment on, I want you to look at your energy like it's money. Track it. Protect it. Invest it wisely. Don't throw it away on meaningless fights. Don't hand it out to anyone who demands it. Don't spend it proving your worth to people who refuse to see it. Save it. Grow it. Spend it on the things that multiply you, not the things that drain you. And when someone tries to pull you into chaos, when they try to provoke you, when they throw their bait in the water, remind yourself this is a transaction. If I react, I'm paying. If I stay silent, I'm saving. If I walk away, I'm investing in myself. That mindset shifts everything. Because once you realize your energy is currency, you stop wasting it on people and situations that can't afford you. The richest people in life are not the ones with the most money. They are the ones with the most peace, the most focus, the most control over their energy. They've learned the discipline of protecting it, of saving it, of investing it where it counts. And you can do the same. Guard your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. Reputation is one of the most valuable things you will ever own. It's not just what people say about you, it's what they remember when you're not in the room, what they feel when they deal with you, the impression you leave without having to open your mouth. And here's the truth, your reputation is not built in moments of comfort. It's built in the heat of conflict. It's built in the moments when people expect you to explode, and instead you remain unshaken. It's built in the times when chaos surrounds you, but you stay in control. The world watches how you handle pressure. They watch how you handle betrayal, insults, criticism, setbacks. They may not remember every detail of your victories, but they will remember how you carried yourself in the storm. Did you scream, lash out, lose control, or did you hold your ground steady, calm, and deliberate? That is where reputation is forged, not in chaos, but in control. When you react emotionally, you hand people evidence that you can be provoked, manipulated, and pulled off balance. You give them material to use against you. You show them that all it takes is the right button and you lose yourself. That image sticks. People may fear you in the moment, but long term they don't respect you, because respect doesn't come from chaos. It comes from composure. The loudest person in the room isn't respected. The calmest one is. The one who doesn't flinch, doesn't panic, doesn't lose themselves. That's the person people look to when things go wrong. Control is magnetic. When you master it, people feel it. They sense it in your silence, in your body language, in your refusal to be shaken. They don't know what you're thinking. They don't know what your next move is. And that uncertainty makes you powerful. Chaos is predictable. People who shout, react, and explode are easy to read. They're easy to bait. But the one who stays calm, the one who cuts silently, that person can't be predicted, can't be controlled. And that mystery builds reputation. This is why silence and restraint are not weakness. They're strategy. They don't just protect your peace. They build your image. Think about the people you admire most. Are they the ones who panic and ranty, or are they the ones who move with precision, who respond with intention, who don't let the world see them sweat? That's the difference between reputation built in chaos and reputation built in control. Your reputation becomes your armor. It precedes you into every room. People will treat you based on the story they've built about you. And if your story is one of chaos, emotional outbursts, constant drama, reactive behavior, then people will not trust you with leadership, with influence, with real opportunities. But if your story is one of control, discipline, and restraint, then doors open because people trust those who are steady under pressure. They trust those who can handle conflict without unraveling. Understand this, chaos makes noise, but control leaves impact. The person who yells may get attention in the moment, but the one who stays calm is the one people remember, the one who keeps composure. In betrayal, who doesn't waste words on enemies, who cuts silently and keeps moving. That person earns respect, because respect comes from consistency, from showing people you are not easily moved, not easily rattled, not easily provoked. Reputation built in control also frees you. When people know you don't react to nonsense, they stop trying, they stop pushing your buttons because they realize they don't work. You become untouchable. People still talk, but their words hit a wall of silence. They still try, but they get nothing back. And over time, your silence becomes your signature. It's the mark of someone who cannot be dragged into the mud. This doesn't mean you never respond. It means when you do, it's calculated, it's intentional, it carries weight because it's rare. If you speak every time someone provokes you, your words are cheap. But if you only speak when it matters, your words are priceless. People lean in, people listen, because they know you don't waste energy on noise. That is how control turns into authority. Reputation in control also intimidates the right people. Enemies thrive on reaction. They want to see you angry because anger makes you sloppy. But when you cut them off without a word, when you move on without warning, you take away their power. You show them you are not their equal in pettiness. You are above it. And that unsettles them more than anything else. They expected a fight. Instead, they got silence. And silence echoes louder than chaos ever could. Control doesn't just protect you from enemies. It protects your future. Because every reaction is a permanent mark. In the digital world we live in, one outburst can follow you forever. One angry post, one emotional reaction, one heated moment, it lives on long after the feeling is gone. But silence leaves nothing behind. Silence keeps your record clean. Silence ensures your reputation stays intact. Now let's be honest, control is not easy. It's one of the hardest things to master. It requires you to bite your tongue when you want to shout. It requires you to stay calm when your blood is boiling. It requires you to walk away when your ego demands revenge. But the payoff is worth it, because every time you hold back, you're not just protecting your peace. You're building your reputation. You're building the image of someone who cannot be broken, cannot be baited, cannot be diminished. Reputation is power. And the strongest reputation you can build is one of control. Not because you never face chaos, but because chaos never defines you. You define yourself. You decide when to speak, when to act, when to cut. You choose silence. Not because you're weak, but because you're too strong to waste energy on noise. That is the mark of true discipline. That is the foundation of lasting respect. So, the next time someone tries to drag you into chaos, ask yourself this. Do I want to leave behind the image of someone who couldn't control themselves, or do I want to leave behind the reputation of someone untouchable? Every reaction is a vote. Every choice builds your legacy. Choose control. Protect your reputation. Because in the end, people won't remember the chaos. They'll remember how you carried yourself through it. Walking away is one of the hardest things you will ever do, but it is also the most powerful. When someone disrespects you, betrays you, or underestimates you, your first instinct is to fight back, to prove them wrong, to make them feel the pain they caused you. That instinct is human, but it's also dangerous, because fighting back keeps you tied to them. Fighting back means you are still playing their game, still standing in their arena, still giving them energy. Walking away, on the other hand, is liberation. It's the quiet victory that leaves them powerless while you move on untouched. Most people think revenge is about doing something. They picture shouting, confrontation, or some act of payback, but the strongest revenge is not action. It's absence. It's the silence of walking away, never looking back, and refusing to even acknowledge their existence again. That silence cuts deeper than any insult, any fight, any retaliation, because it shows them the truth. They no longer matter. Nothing hurts someone more than realizing they don't hold space in your life anymore. Walking away does not mean you lost. It means you won. Because the person who can walk away without a word has control. They are not bound by ego. They are not addicted to validation. They don't need to prove themselves to anyone. Walking away is a declaration. I don't need you. I don't need your approval. And I refuse to waste my life entangled in your chaos. That statement is so much louder than any outburst could ever be. Think about the energy dynamic. When you fight back, you are still giving them what they crave, your attention, your reaction, your energy. You are still feeding the fire, But when you walk away, you starve it. The fire dies because it has nothing left to burn. They can scream, gossip, or plot against you, but it all echoes into nothingness because you're not there to hear it. That silence drives them mad. They wanted war, but you gave them indifference. They wanted to be the center of your story, but you closed the book and walked out of the room. Walking away is also the ultimate revenge because it frees you to build. You stop wasting time fighting battles that lead nowhere, and you invest that time into yourself. You grow, you rise, you become stronger, sharper, more successful. And the higher you climb, the smaller they look in your rearview mirror. So, nothing punishes your enemies more than watching you thrive while they stay stuck in the same cycle. They wanted to see you broken, but instead they see you unshaken. They wanted to slow you down, but instead you sped up. And the best part? You didn't need to say a word. Now, let's be honest, walking away takes discipline. Your ego will fight you. Your pride will scream, don't let them get away with it. Don't let them think they won. But here's the reality. They only win if you keep playing. Walking away is not letting them win. It's ending the game entirely. It's saying, this battle is beneath me. My energy is too valuable. My future is too important. You don't get another second of my life. That's not weakness. That's mastery. Walking away also sends a message to yourself. It says, I trust my worth so much that I don't need to prove it. It says, I value my peace more than I value revenge. It says, I know who I am, and I don't need your validation to confirm it. That internal message is what transforms you. It shifts your mindset from being reactive to being intentional, from chasing closure to building clarity, from fighting small battles to preparing for greater victories. There's another layer to this. Walking away is protection. Every time you stay in a toxic relationship, every time you argue with someone who refuses to change, every time you cling to people who've already shown you their true colors, you're choosing pain over peace. Walking away is the shield that protects you from repeating the same hurt. It's not punishment, it's prevention. It's how you stop bleeding energy into places that will never give you life in return. People will try to guilt you for walking away. They'll call you cold, heartless, unfair. But remember this, the people who truly valued you never would have forced you into that position in the first place. If someone lost access to you, it's because they broke the bridge, not because you walked off it. You don't owe explanations. You don't owe closure. You don't owe anyone access to you once they've proven they can't be trusted with it. Walking away is also a long game. You may not see the effects immediately, but over time your absence will echo. They will feel it in the silence. They will notice it in the void you leave behind. And while they're still stuck in drama, you'll be miles ahead, building a life that doesn't include them. That distance, that growth, that success, that is the revenge. It's not quick, but it's lasting. And here's the truth. Walking away is not just revenge. It's freedom. It's the choice to stop letting other people dictate your emotions. It's the decision to stop tying your worth to their approval. It's the courage to cut ties with what no longer serves you. That's not just power, that's peace. Because revenge may feel good for a moment, but peace lasts forever. And nothing creates peace like walking away. So the next time someone disrespects you, betrays you, or tries to pull you into their storm, remember this, you don't have to react. You don't have to fight. You don't have to prove a single thing. The strongest move you can make is the quietest one. Walk away. No warning, no words, no looking back. And when you do, you'll realize the ultimate revenge was never about making them suffer. It was about choosing yourself, choosing your peace, and choosing to rise where they thought you'd fall. That's the beauty of walking away. It doesn't just close a chapter. It writes an entirely new book. One where you're the author, the hero, the leader of your story. And in that story, the people who tried to break you are nothing more than background noise, fading into silence while you walk forward into something greater. When it's all said and done, life is not about how loud you can shout back, how clever your comebacks are, or how many people you can put in their place. Life is about where you direct your energy, how you hold your ground, and how you carry yourself when the world pushes you to break. The truth is, you don't owe anyone a reaction. You don't owe anyone an explanation. The moment you stop feeding the chaos around you, you reclaim your power. Silence is not weakness, it's strength disguised. Walking away is not surrender, it's strategy. Protecting your energy is not selfish, it's survival. The people who tried to provoke you, manipulate you, disrespect you, they wanted a show. They wanted to see you unravel, lose yourself, play on their level. But the greatest revenge you will ever deliver is refusing to play their game. You cut them off silently, you preserve your energy, you stay in control, and you walk away with your head high. That's how you win. Every single time. And here's what you'll discover. The quieter you get, the louder your growth becomes. The less you react, the more you rise. The more you walk away, the further you go. Because nothing, not betrayal, not gossip, not disrespect, can stop a person who refuses to waste their energy on noise. So carry this with you. Don't react. Cut them silently. Don't fight. Walk away. Don't waste your energy. Invest it in yourself. Build a reputation not of chaos, but of control. And when people look back, they won't remember the arguments you had or the drama you avoided. They'll remember your strength, your composure, your rise. That is the legacy you want. That is the power you hold. And that is the ultimate message. Real strength is not proven in noise. It's proven in silence.